name is Monica. Welcome to Hatha Yoga Class. We are going to be practicing Hatha, which means sun and moon. So it's speaking to the polarity in each of us. And we're going to bring that together with our breath. So we're going to inhale from above and exhale from below. Inhaling, opening up the chest, and we're going to exhale from the abdomen. So Hatha is polarity, the sun and moon. And then the breath we're going to be using is Ujjayi breathing. So it is similar to a constriction in the back of the throat, as if you would fog up a mirror, like that is what the constriction should feel like. The benefit of Ujjayi breathing is that it is elongating the breath. There are many physical and spiritual benefits as well, but for the sake of this class, it will be lengthening our breath because of that constriction, almost as if you're breathing through a straw. So you're going to inhale with that constriction and then exhale. And you should hear a sound effect associated with it, like the ocean. It's also called ocean breath. And when we're stretching out our breathing, we are using that to wrap around our asana or posture practice. So each pose or movement that we're going to do, each flow, is going to fit with our breath. So because our breath will remain constant throughout our practice, our movements might speed up or slow down depending on that breath, but the breath should remain constant. So I want you to really focus on your own breath during this class and use that to be your guide. So we are going to sit first. I'm going to sit facing you. You can sit in the middle or come to the front of your mat and sit in a meditation pose. We are going to sit with our back straight, if we can, with our seat bones into the mat, with our spine should be straight up and down. You can close your eyes and start to breathe. Focus on your natural breath. We're going to be grounding for a few minutes. Take this time to set an intention for the practice. Think about what you'd like to get out of today's practice. I'll invite you to clear your mind of all your worries and to-do lists outside of here. This is your time to practice here. Feel your feet into the floor. You're breathing into the chest, lifting the chest. Exhaling from the abdomen, bringing the belly in. And you can do this breathing for a few more minutes. Really focus on breathing into the top, inhaling our receptivity, and exhaling is strength. And take a few moments and try to think about your Ujjayi breathing and work on that constriction in the back of the throat. Feeling your breath lengthen and slow. Taking full deep breaths. We'll just spend a few more moments here. Grateful that we have this time to practice. Feeling the energy from your root or your seat bones up through the crown of your head. Okay, when you're ready, you can open your eyes slowly. Alright, so just so you're aware, in this class I will be making adjustments. I won't do anything that's absolutely not necessary to do. This is your own flow and your own practice. However, the only thing I will need to adjust is if I feel like you will cause yourself physical injury if I don't in some way. So I might put a hand on you. If you don't want that, that's completely fine. I would just ask that you turn over the corner of your mat so that you're aware, or that I'm aware not to intervene with your practice. Are there any injuries I should know about today?
Lower back is a little bit sore today, and yeah, maybe this.
That knee?
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
left
Just
one.
your
It's a little
left knee.
sore,
Okay.
but it still moves.
Okay, well just take it easy on your knee. If we're doing any kneeling postures or anything that's uncomfortable for you, just let me know and we can adjust it, or you can stay off of that knee, maybe just do one side, it's up to you. You can always take a child's pose if anything's uncomfortable for you or you need a break from anything. And if we are doing a seating pose, if you're feeling tension in your back, you can always sit on a block. Sometimes that helps to straighten out and lengthen your spine if you're sitting. So you can definitely take advantage of that towards the end of practice when we're doing our meditation, if you feel like that will be helpful to you. I also have blankets if you'd rather sit on a blanket, but you can really hopefully you can feel the lengthening in your spine when you sit a little bit elevated. It can be helpful. I'll also be taking us through the practice with our asanas, using these blocks if it's helpful for your flexibility, and these straps can be used as well. So I'll let you know when can be a good time to bring these into practice. If you already are familiar with them and you want to bring them into your own practice, you're welcome to. So we're going to do our asana practice or our postures first, using our breathing. Then we're going to work in our breath or pranayama. We're going to practice our breathing a bit more, and then we'll have some grounded meditation to finish the practice. So I'm first going to invite us to stand up at the front of our mat, and we're going to be working through our standing flow, which involves two different asanas, mountain pose and forward fold. So we're going to do Tadasana or mountain pose first. Standing hip width apart at the front of your mat. You can come up to the front of your mat, and we're going to be inhaling, reaching arms overhead. Exhaling, hands heart center. Inhaling, arms come up overhead. Exhaling, hands heart center. Inhaling, reaching up, shoulders down and back. Exhaling, hands heart center. Inhaling. Exhaling, hands heart center. And now we're going to be moving into our forward fold. So we're going to inhale, arms up, reaching up overhead, and bending at the waist, forward folding. Keeping our hands in front of our feet. At this point, if you would like to use a block to put your hands on, then you can. It might be easier for you. But the objective is not to have straight knees. You may bend your knees. You should be folding at your waist. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, forward fold. 3 more times with the breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward fold. Feel height in your hips, stretching the back of the knees. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale, come up. Exhale, forward fold. And a final inhale, coming back up. Exhale, hands heart center. And we'll do one final breath here. Inhaling. Exhale. I'm going to take you now through some sun salutations. This is our classical version of sun salutations. We're going to be doing 12 sets. So I'll do the first set to demonstrate, and then after that we can join in together. I'm going to be doing the first set a bit slow and focusing on things that are important for proper alignment. So we're going to do similar to the first two poses, inhaling up, exhale, forward fold, but you're going to keep your hands aside of your feet. Inhaling, left leg back, low lunge, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog, bringing the feet together. You're going to statically hold your breath to put your knees down and gently put your chest down onto the mat. Folding your toes under, inhale, look up. Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Knees can be bent in this position. Inhale, left leg forward, look up. Exhale, feet together. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. And now we're going to move through that together. So, inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Feet next to your hands. Inhaling, right leg back, low lunge. Keep your knee over your ankle. Looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath retention, bring your knees down to your mat slowly. Bring your chest down. Holding your breath, folding your toes under. Inhale, look up. Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg forward, look up. Exhale, feet together, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bending at the waist. Inhale, left leg back, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath retention, moving our bodies slowly onto the mat. Elbows should be tucked to protect your neck. Inhale, look up. Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg forward, look up. Low lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, look up. Exhale, feet together. Breath retention. Coming down safely to the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders. Elbows bent, tucked in. Inhale, look up. Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, look up. Exhale, feet together. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath retention, come down onto your mat. Fold your toes under, inhale, look up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale. Exhale, feet together, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Folding at the waist. Inhale, left leg back, look up. Exhale, down facing dog. Breath retention, coming down onto your mat. Hands under your shoulders, elbows tucked in. Feet on the floor. Inhale, press up, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, look up. Exhale, feet together. Forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath retention, come onto your mat. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg forward, look up. Exhale, feet together. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Try to finish at the front of your mat so you have room to move back into your poses. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Deep exhale. Inhale, left leg back, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath retention. Knees, feet, hands come down to your mat. Inhale, scoop up into cobra. Keeping your pelvis grounded into the floor. Exhale. Inhale, left leg forward, look up. Keeping your knee over your ankle. Exhale, feet together, forward fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale, right leg back, look up. Low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming down onto your mat, breath retention. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg forward, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, look up. Exhale, feet together, downward dog. Breath retention, come down onto our mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg forward, look up. Exhale, feet together, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. And we're going to do one final breath here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands heart center. Okay, wonderful. So we're going to do 10 to 15 asanas for our practice. It's going to start with standing postures, balancing postures, then move on to our sitting postures, some inversions or back bends, twist poses, and finishing with forward folds. Nothing too advanced. This is a beginner class. So I'm only going to demonstrate things that are more difficult, but if you have questions, you can feel free to ask me. We're going to start with our triangle pose. So standing at the front of your mat, if you want to come forward to the front of your mat, you're going to step your left leg back. And you're going to have your back leg perpendicular to your front leg. I'm going to be demonstrating oppositely so you can see the pose. So your heels should be in line with each other. You're going to be reaching out with both arms level at your shoulders. Your hips should be square facing forward. You're going to inhale here. Exhale, reach forward. Bend at the waist, look up to your opposite fingertips. Inhale, come out of the posture. Looking up over your front fingertips. Exhale, bend, stretch out forward. You're not bending your knees in this pose, you're keeping your knees straight. You're bending at the waist. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach forward, bend over. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach forward, bend at the waist, look up over your right fingertips, and hold this for 4 breaths, and I'll be coming around. So you can put your hand up here instead of putting pressure onto your knee, and your knee should be straight. Try to gaze up to your fingertips. A few more breaths there. On your next inhale, slowly come out of the posture. Bring your arms back to front and step forward. Or you can shift your back leg in and move your front foot out. You can also come back to the center and put your right leg back in the same position. So now you're facing the same way. Your back foot is perpendicular to your front foot. So you're going to be hip square facing in front of your body. You're going to reach your arms out and look over your front fingertips. You're going to be inhaling here. Exhale, reach out over your fingertips, bend at the waist, look up to your right fingertips. Inhale, come out of the pose. Exhale, reach forward, bend at the waist, look out over your right fingertips. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach forward, bend at the waist. Inhale, come up. Exhale. And hold this for 4 breaths. Okay. On your next inhale, come up. And bring both feet to the front of your mat. Our next position is Utthita Parsvakonasana, or extended side angle pose. So the alignment is very similar. If you're starting at the top of your mat, you're going to step your left leg back, but I'm going to be doing this so I can demonstrate to you. Your foot is going to be perpendicular again, but this time your heel is going to be in line with your arch of your back foot. You're going to reach your front arms out, and this time inhale. Exhale, we're going to bend the front knee, lean onto it with our left forearm, and gaze up at our right fingertips overhead. The objective of this position, and sometimes it's easier to extend your right heel farther back, is that you should be making a direct line from your heel to the top of your fingertips. Inhale and come up. Straighten your knee. Exhale into the position again. Keeping your left knee over your ankle. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend the knee. Lean into the posture. Your right arm should be overhead at an angle. Inhale, come up. Looking over the front fingertips. Exhale, bend at the knee. Reach your right arm overhead. Inhale, come up. And last time, bending into the pose on exhale. Your palms should be facing each other. And I'll come around to help. Feel the energy in between both of your palms. 4 breaths here. On the final inhale, on the 4th breath, you can come back up. And now we're going to switch our feet. Move your back foot to parallel. Or your front foot, sorry. And then flip your forward facing foot out. There you go. You can also, if you want to be facing me, come back to forward and do the whole thing from the beginning. So if you want to come facing forward, then you would be moving your right leg back. With your heel, your front heel in line with your arch. So you're going to reach out over the front fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knee, keeping your knee in line with your ankle. Rest your right forearm on your knee and reach your arm overhead. Your palms should be facing each other. Inhale, come up. Exhale into the pose. Your right arm or your left arm overhead. Inhale, come up. Exhale into the pose. Inhale, come up. Exhale into the pose. And hold here for 4 breaths. And a little bit more to the pose. Resting your forearm on your thigh. Keeping your wrists relaxed. And on your final inhale, you can come back up, facing forward, and then step your feet together. The next one I'm going to be facing you. This one is our tree pose, or Vrikshikshasana. So we're going to keep our left leg rooted first. We're going to move our weight onto our left leg. And then you're going to pick up your right leg slowly. If you can place it on your calf, that's great. If you can keep your foot touching the ground and place your toes, that's also wonderful. If you can move your foot all the way up onto your thigh, you may. Don't press your foot into your knee because that will hurt your knee. So we're going to hold our foot wherever we can. And we're going to inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. My foot is actually easier on my calf here. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale. Exhale, hands heart center. And we're going to hold here for 4 breaths. Pick a focal point in front of you that is not moving. I don't recommend watching other yoga practitioners at this point. Focus on your breathing. Inhaling from the chest. And exhaling from the abdomen. Holding your core in. On the final exhale, you can put your foot down. And we'll switch to the other side. Putting weight into our right leg. Move your left foot slowly wherever is most comfortable for you. This one is easier at the top of my right leg, as long as you're not placing it on your knee. So we're going to be inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhaling. Exhaling, hands heart center. And one more breath here. Inhale up. Exhale. And hold here for 4 breaths. Keeping your gluteal muscles engaged and your core engaged. Should help you to balance. Don't lock your standing knee, your supporting knee. Keep your leg relaxed. On your final exhale, you can come out of the pose and place both feet to the floor. And for our last standing pose, we're going to do Warrior One. So you may start at the top of your mat, or Warrior Two, I'm sorry, for Virabhadrasana 2. You're going to be stepping your left leg back into a large step. And it will be similar to our other postures with our back foot perpendicular to the front. We're going to be reaching both arms out in front, in line with our shoulders and keeping our hips square, same as the previous postures. We're going to inhale here and exhale, bend into the left knee. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend into that knee, keeping the knee over your ankle. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhaling. Final exhale into the posture. We're going to hold here for 4 breaths. Make sure that your heel is in line with your ankle, in line with your toes. So if your toes are facing forward, your knee should face forward. If your toes were facing out, your knee should also be facing out, or you could cause pain in your knee. Looking out over those front fingertips, keep in mind your back arm. Maybe try to open it up slightly more, keeping it in line with your shoulders. Breathing here. On the final exhale, you can come up. And we're going to switch sides. You can come back to standing at the front and move your right leg back. Bring your arms out in front of you, or your right fingertips out in front of you, arms in line with your shoulders, hips square facing forward. Inhale. Exhale, bending the right knee, keeping knee in line with your ankle. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, come up. Exhale into the pose. Inhale, come up. Exhale. And we're going to hold it here for 4 breaths. Keeping our hands in line with our shoulders. Inhaling from the chest, exhaling from the abdomen. On your next inhale, come up. And you can bring your feet together. And now we'll be moving into a flow sequence, which is 3 postures that will be moving together with the breath. You can come down into tabletop position. So you can, if you're in the middle of your mat, you can go to kneeling and then place your hands in front of you. So this is tabletop position. So we're going to start in tabletop. We're going to move through the sequence about 4 times. So we're going to inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, tabletop. Toes curled under. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down facing dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Toes curl under, exhale, down facing dog. This is our final time through. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. And we're going to hold this pose and move into our next pose, which is Marjasana, or the cat-cow pose. So your wrists should be stacked underneath your shoulders. Your knees should be stacked underneath your hips. And your toes should be flat on the mat. We're going to inhale here first in a neutral position. And our exhale, we're going to curve our back up. Inhale, curve the spine opposite direction and look up. Reaching up. Exhale, curve the spine under. Emptying the breath from the abdomen. Inhaling. Look up. Exhaling. Inhaling with the chest up. Exhaling from the abdomen. Inhaling, chest up. Exhaling from the abdomen. And we're going to come back to neutral. Just take 4 breaths here. Relaxing your shoulders down away from the ears. Spreading your fingers out under you. One final breath here. And on your final exhale, we're going to sit back and move into Setu Bandhasana, or our bridge pose. So you can sit back on your heels, and then you can come to a seated position. With your knees out in front of your chest, you can lay back. Your fingertips should be touching your heels, just the tips of your fingertips. And we're going to move into bridge pose. Take 1 breath in this position. On your next inhale, tilt your pelvis up, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, come down, bring the arms down back by your sides. Inhaling, reaching up with your pelvis, arms up overhead. Exhaling, come down, arms by your sides. Inhale. Exhaling, coming down slowly. Last inhale up. Arms up overhead. And we're going to hold this here, pressing through the heels into the floor. Pressing your hips away from the floor. I'm going to come around. Sure, your heels could be under you further, that might help you. And push up. Hold this for 4 breaths. Inhaling with the chest up and exhaling through the abdomen. On your next exhale, slowly bring your vertebrae down one by one to the floor. Bring your arms down by your sides. And take one final breath here. Now we're going to move into our next flow sequence. On exhale, bring your knees into your chest, hug your knees. Inhale, feet flexed towards the ceiling, arms up overhead. Exhale, knees to your chest, hug your knees. Inhale, back into bridge pose. Feet on the floor, pushing up with your hips, arms up overhead. Exhale, knees back into your chest. Inhale, feet up towards the sky, arms up overhead. Exhale, hug your knees. Inhale, bridge pose, plant your feet to the ground. Tilt your pelvis up, arms up overhead. Exhale, come down, hug your knees. Inhale, feet towards the sky, arms up overhead, flex your feet. Exhale, hug your knees. Inhale, bridge pose, plant your feet, tilt your pelvis, arms up overhead. Exhale, hug your knees. Inhale, reach your feet up to the sky, arms up overhead. Feel the pushing through your heels. Exhale, knees to chest. Inhale, bridge pose, feet down, arms up overhead. Exhale, knees to chest. And we're going to stay here for a breath. You can rock with your knees. It might be a little bit of a massage on your back. Holding this position, we're going to move into Pavana Muktasana, or wind relieving pose, which is part of what we just did. So you're going to hug your knees, continue to hug your knees, and then you're going to take a breath here. On your next inhale, reach your feet up to the sky, press through your heels and reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hug your knees. Empty your breath from your abdomen. Inhaling from the chest, pushing your heels up to the sky, reach overhead. Exhale, knees to chest. Inhaling. Exhale, knees to chest. Final inhale, legs up. Push through those heels, flex your feet. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs, arms up overhead. Opening the chest. Exhaling completely. Knees to chest. And we're going to hold this here for 4 breaths.